Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dimes with Dara on the Joy Slot podcast, brought to you by IrishSportsDaily.com. I'm Grateful Long. That's Dara Mabry. We are witnessing Dara take in a Notre Dame women's basketball game. They are playing the TCU Horned Frogs. The number 17th ranked TCU Horned Frogs came in at 6-0. The game is taking place right now as we speak. Notre Dame has a 9-3 lead in the first quarter. Let's check out the split box here. It looks like early, let's see, total points. Olivia Miles has 3 points. She's 1 of 1 from 3-point line. Hey, Dara, Olivia Miles, 4 of 5 against USC in their big victory in Los Angeles. We talked about in the kind of the preview show about how Olivia Miles was, she was shooting, I think it was 40-something%. I want to say 47% from three. You're going to have to check me on that. It's better now because she was 4 or 5 in that game. And if Olivia Miles is hitting her threes, that's kind of a wrap for college basketball, women's college basketball, because that is something that has not been a big part of her game. Hannah Hidalgo has 4 points right now on 2 of 3 shooting. Notre Dame is up to an 11-3 lead in the game. Dara, how are you doing? You are in Europe again. You have a game tomorrow. It is 11 p.m. your time, 11:08 p.m. specifically. How are you doing? How are you feeling? How are things over there?
I'm doing great. Things are great over here. I do have a game tomorrow. I have a 7 p.m. game. So I do get to sleep in. That's the reason why I could be on here tonight is
Yes.
we don't have to leave until a little bit later, which is nice because I was really looking forward to this matchup. I know this is going to be a really good game. I'm really happy with our start offensively and defensively, but I'm doing really good, and I really want to see Olivia Miles hit some more threes.
Hit some more threes. Notre Dame is here's the thing. Notre Dame is up 11-3 right now on TCU. It is 11-5 actually. TCU just made a basket. Haley Van Lith, formerly of Louisville, formerly of LSU, is on the TCU team. She's had a really good start to the season. She's doesn't have a very big start to this game. But is TCU a team that's viable against Notre Dame? Notre Dame is obviously a very good team, to start the season. Did you feel like coming into the game that TCU was going to be kind of a big threat to Notre Dame in this one?
I hope I don't eat my words with this one, but no, I don't. I think what we've seen from Notre Dame this year is they're just way too powerful offensively. But if you look at the start of this game, like they're so scary because of their defense too. They've caused TCU to. Olivia just missed a 3. Damn it.
She's 1 of 2. She's 1 of 2. Things are falling apart. It's very difficult for Notre Dame. But look, we can forgive those things. But please continue.
They've caused TCU to turn the ball over already. You have Haley Van Lith is great. I'm a really big fan of hers, and what she's done with this TCU team, I'd like to say, is like very impressive. And she is right. She has put them on the map. And it's also nice to see another guard like her, a great basketball player, just, after whatever happened at LSU, she didn't seem like she was playing like herself. It's nice to see, because I respect her game a lot. It's nice to see her come alive, in a different area. But I know that she's going to be a really big focus for our defense tonight. You have Sonia Citron guarding her. I mean, that's a great matchup. Sonia's such a great defender. No doubt in my mind that Sonia will always handle her business. And I have noticed that we've been going under some people, over some people, and then trapping certain ball screens, I think, with Haley in it, which is a really good scouting move. I don't know whose scout this is. But props to Neil for that. That's a good one.
I want you to talk to us about, you said, I don't know whose scout this is. So after the USC game, Sonia in the press conference afterwards gave credit to your sister. She said it was her scout on Juju Watkins. What goes into that, right? I think, followers of Notre Dame football team, they don't talk about football doesn't talk about, it was, Caleb Williams was ex-coach's scout, right? How does that work within the basketball team? How does Mikey go about, when I say Mikey, I mean Michaela Mabry, assistant coach. How does she go putting together a scout, right? How much advanced scouting is involved in that? What kind of process, if you could kind of bring us into that process, what does that process look like?
Yeah, so she's really good. I like her scouts a lot because she's really big on player tendencies, especially when we have a big matchup. Like if you're guarding a really dominant guard or a really dominant post player, she's really good with like knowing exactly what they're gonna do. We always used to joke and be like, she knows when they're gonna take a breath and when they're gonna go dribble left or right. Like her
Yeah.
scouts are everyone else who's played for her like could say the same thing. It's not just me because I'm her sister. Like her scouts are A1, the best scouts I've ever seen. So really big on player tendencies, which is good. And then a good scout to me as a player is always one that's easy to understand. So she goes by tendencies and offensive and defensive schemes. You know, like you can't scout every single little thing. And like before every game, there's always a chance that they put a new play in, a new set, a new offense, a new defense, and you kind of just have to go and trust yourself. But it's a lot of tendencies and a lot of things that you consistently see, and therefore it's easy to understand because you're not just gonna face a brand new defense randomly or a brand new motion offense. You know, like that's hard. It's hard for another team to master that in a matter of a couple of days before you face a new opponent. So I don't know whose scout this is, but already they're doing a really good job. And I mean, I think it's like, just like you said in football, people really don't realize like how much it goes into it. Like they don't sleep. The coaches don't sleep. They pour
Interesting.
everything into that
Yeah.
scout, like because it's so important. It's important for the players.
Yeah. So that was something that I was kind of wanting to ask you about. It's currently 13-5. We got like a timeout on the floor. Looks
We
like.
do have a timeout.
Yeah. So Notre Dame 13, TCU 5 to start. A lot was made of Notre Dame's defense in the USC game. I think Niele made a very big point of bringing that up in the press conference. She brought Sonia Citron on the to her at the press conference with Hannah Hidalgo, and look, Sony did not have a very big offensive game. She was 2 of 9 shooting. I think she only had 7 points on the game, but she wanted to bring her up and to talk because she was given the Juju Watkins assignment, and Juju Watkins really struggled in that game. She finished 10 of 25, but she hit a lot of shots, like kind of with a minute left, that kind of inflated her overall stats. For most of the game, she was struggling mightily. We had kind of talked about, Juju wasn't shooting the ball very well going into the game. Right. I texted you during the game. I thought that her shot looked broken to me. Her first couple of jumpers, like they were not close.
Right.
So, but what did you see Notre Dame do defensively against Juju that caused her so many problems? Just kind of like not just with Sony, but the things that she was doing to send her to help and things of that nature.
Yeah. I think that matchup was the perfect one. And I know when Sonia came off of her, Cass Prosper, who also just scored on a fast break from Hannah, was good just because of their length and their size. Like Juju is an amazing basketball player, like obviously arguably one of the best right now in the country. But I think Sonia's length and ability to make her take unorthodox shots, because when you play against a player of that caliber, they're going to score. They're going to score. It's inevitable. They're that good because they're going to keep taking their shots and they're going to get to their sweet spots because she's really good. Like, it's just like anybody that guards Olivia or Hannah or Sonia like that. It's the same thing. You just have to force them to take unorthodox, tough shots and try to speed them up and make them go into their second option, which obviously Juju's just a flat out scorer. Passing is not, her expertise, and they forced her into her second options and to take tough shots. And that's huge because everyone talks about offense when they look at this team. And then you look at the way they play defense is unbelievable. Like, and that's what, the offense is hard, but them also playing defense makes them who they are, in my opinion.
Yeah, like because when we talked to Muffet McGraw last year, she made a big point about Notre Dame is not known as a defensive team, right? And she,
right.
That kind of bothered her, you could tell. And I think the thing that I noticed in the game against USC, I actually asked Neil Ivy about this in the post game in the press conference as well. I wanted her to focus in on Cass and Kate Koval specifically, because I think Kate, because of the way Hannah came in and she was such an offensive force. Obviously, she was defensive as well, but like the offense is really kind of what everyone focuses on, I think, with basketball, period, right? Like, are you putting the ball in the basket? Are you #getting buckets? But I think what Kate brings is just, she is such an anchor inside. I mean, in this game, like, she's 0 for 4 shooting, right? She's not shooting the ball very well. She already has a block. She has 2 rebounds. And I think for Juju specifically, she's a player that wants to get to the basket, and she was not able to do that against Notre Dame until kind of late, right? And again, that's like, they were trying to claw back into the game. It's not really the most efficient way to get back into the game. Kate is so big and sturdy in there. I just think she brings to them something defensively that they didn't have certainly last year. And, as just a sophomore, I think that is really just like, it really adds to what this team kind of wants. Like, what have you seen from Kate so far this year that kind of shows like the kind of defensive presence that she can be inside for Notre Dame?
First of all, guys, disclaimer, I don't know what it looks like I'm doing over here, but I'm in some pre-game day eve activities over here that you can't see. And
we are clued into the process right now. The professional basketball player process, how she gets ready, her craft. We love to see this. Anyway, continue, please.
Guys, I'm just icing my leg. Okay. I just need a disclaimer. My arm is moving over here. Kate doesn't play like a freshman. And I think she's a traditional true center, and that's what we haven't seen in a while. Mm-hmm. I think Lauren Ebo was the last traditional center that we saw, and she's just super strong body. She's tall, she's long, and she takes up a lot of space in the paint, which is very complimentary to the guards finally. And it's not even like just defensively, like offensively, when she's setting you a screen, when you have a center setting you a screen that can roll at a fast pace as a guard, it's like look, she just blocked another girl's shot. That was a really bad foul call. That was really bad.
Look like on a 3-point attempt.
I'm upset at this one. I'm really upset.
Oh, no, she's total points. Total points. This girl has 4 points.
That one just kind of sucks. But I like the aggression. It's okay.
We don't like these foul calls.
Not at all. That was I can't say what I really think that was. But I think, our fans that know us on here can have a clue. I mean, you can, and then this is so great because when I think about Kate and when I think about March, I just think of like how good she is now. I literally was talking about this with my dad today. How good she is now, and Kate's going to be even better in March. Like Notre Dame develops players. Like they're going to keep developing her, and if she's good now, she's going to be even better in March, and that's like a scary thing to see.
Let's see. TCU's already got 5 turnovers in this game.
Yeah,
it's another turnover again.
We're going through a little. TCU's on a little run right now, but it's okay.
Yeah, 19-11 now. Hannah just hit a shot.
Oh, you're ahead of me.
I am ahead. Well, the stats are going to be ahead of any streaming service that you're on. By the way, this Flow Sports situation. Get out of here. Get out of here. This is not it. Like that, you've got primetime matchups. You got Notre Dame against USC on NBC, right? Like that's what you want. Like you want network television. This Flow Sports thing, you got to pay $30 a month to watch it. And like the stream is I've heard it's better than it has been in the past. Listen, this is substandard. All right. Women's basketball is a legit entity right now. We can't be having this. I'm throwing the challenge flag.
Unacceptable. It's not giving very support women's sports of you, Flow Sports. And to top it off, again, I was chopping it up with my dad today, and we were trying to figure out how to watch the game. And on the Flow Sports, he told me that it says you can watch from multiple different devices if they're hooked up to the same Wi-Fi or the IP address. And who in the world is watching the same event as a family or in the same household from 4 different devices? No one's doing that.
Yeah.
So again, I think Flow Sports, you're not fooling anybody.
It's ridiculous, and we need to do better as a nation on as far as treating women's sports the way that people want. It looks like Notre Dame's going to go into the second quarter up 21-11. Notre Dame shoots 38% in the first quarter and is up by 10. They hold TCU to 27% shooting on 4 of 15 field goals. That's the thing, Dara. Listen, if they're gonna be like this defensive juggernaut slash just like a brick wall back there, with the offensive, with the way they can score, Leah Tu King 6 points first quarter, 8 points for Hannah Hidalgo, 14 of the 21. You're not even shooting threes. That was the thing. Like Notre Dame got hot against USC, and they just completely blew them away. Like they just eviscerated them in that fourth quarter. And that was part of what I asked about. And this speaks to the depth. This is part of what I asked about. I've asked Danielle Ivey because Leah Tu King goes out of the game. It was 44-40, I believe. She comes back in the game, and Notre Dame is up. I think they went on a 24-7 run. So what is that? 68-47, right? They were up by 4. She leaves, up by 21 when she gets back, right? That is the type of thing that you lose a top player like that last year. You're definitely not extending in that way. Olivia Miles went crazy during this stretch. She hit a bunch of threes, and Hannah's doing her thing. Sonia Citron had some big buckets. Cass Prosper had a couple offensive rebound putbacks. Like that is the thing that Notre Dame has this year. You still don't have Maddie Westfeld. You still don't have Liza Carlin, right? It's hard for me to see, like they're ranked 3 right now. For some reason, the AP wanted UConn to be number 2 for reasons unknown.
I just want to say that I said this on our first podcast. I don't believe that there's 6 teams in the country better than them.
You did. It's hard to disagree, right? I think UCLA, like they had a big victory against South Carolina, right, and ended their 43 game win streak. So look, you got to give credit to that, right? Notre Dame looks as good as any team right now, and you still have Maddie Westfeld and Liza Carlin again, just waiting in the wings. I would question what that's going to look like from a chemistry standpoint. I don't think there's any reason to even think about that at this moment, especially when you can. It's to me, it's very easy for them to say, okay, we are going to move Kate Koval to a bench role. She might just be her best role for the team this year. She can obviously play heavy minutes. She's done it before. But speaking of the chemistry, I want you to talk about what you've seen from Hannah and Olivia. I'll give a little background on later after you speak on just kind of what I saw in the pregame with those two. It's been nothing short of electric. I just kind of want you to talk about what you've seen from those two ladies so far.
They just called another awful foul.
We could talk about that too, because I had some thoughts during the USC game that I thought were just, and then her name's up by 20 whatever points it was, so it's not a big deal. But I was texting someone kind of within the basketball program, like, this referee situation is just a disaster. but what have you seen from the two guards for Notre Dame so far?
Their ability as their first time to play together and to complement one another the way that they do is like, I don't think we've seen a backcourt as electric as that, maybe arguably in history. Like 2 guards that play at the same pace as they do, and complement each other like so well. Given they Hannah could play the one, she could play the two, and it was questionable in the beginning. Okay, yeah, Liv is going to come play the one. Now Hannah's going to be out of position at the two, but they're making it work, and they are thriving off one another. And Olivia finds you really well, but I think Hannah also gets credit because she's adjusted so well to moving to where Olivia can find her because the defense is so heavily focused on those two.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So I think just like when you take two, they're superstars. Like, and obviously, in my opinion, we have more than two superstars on this team. But when you take two superstars of that caliber, here goes Kate. Come on, Kate. All right, it's okay. When you take two superstars of that caliber and put them on, the same team on the same court, who both expect to like average, a good amount of points, take a good amount of shots, and just handle the ball a lot. This is a really good matchup. Sedona Prince, they are going at it. It's very. Oh wow, we have a comment.
Yeah, Coach Helms, he noted Notre Dame has 6 offensive rebounds. 6 of those are with Leah Tu King. She was very good at this against USC as well. A lot of second chance possessions that she was able to earn. Are you worried about the turnovers at all? Not in this game. They only have 3 so far, but just generally speaking, we talked a little bit about this. I believe they had 20 against USC, right? So you have 20 turnovers. They turned USC over, I want to say 23, 24 times. So it evened out on that front. But are you a little bit worried about the turnovers in terms of just like they do need to settle down a little bit in the half court?
I don't think that it's a concern for me. I think that as they grow, and I think a lot of this will be Olivia's responsibility, just recognizing that while you're playing fast, when it's time to slow it down, pull it out, and run a set. Or when it's time to just calm down a little and not push the pace because maybe a couple possessions is not working in your favor, or maybe you need to slow down and get a better shot. They just turned it over.
Yeah, Sony had another turnover there, but then TCU they turn it over again. So like they're kind of matching turnovers there.
Greg, wait for me.
I apologize.
I'm turning it over. Oh dear. Okay. Yeah, you're right. This is
John Cahote has a question. Do we expect Kylie Watson to come back this year? I do not. Because I don't know what her specific eligibility situation is, but it's going to be the inside is going to be packed. You have Maddie in there. She's going to be Liza Carlin's in there. Leah Tu's in there. Kate Koval's in there. I mean, do you have any insight into this or whether she wants to come back? I mean, I think Notre Dame's been very, I don't want to say conservative. That's kind of has a negative connotation. They've been willing to be patient with knee injuries and severe knee injuries. It was later in the spring. It wasn't like it was around this time last year, right? So, but do you have an insight into whether or not that's going to be a thing?
If I had to answer that right now, I would probably just say no, because it's always better to air it like on the safe side, especially when it, like you just said, a severe injury like an ACL. What was it, March?
It was, yeah. It was during tournament time.
July, August, September, October, November. Like December makes month 9, and just from someone that went through a knee injury and knows what a timetable is like, 9 or 10 months is very early for an ACL. So if I had to answer that right now, I would say no.
And they can obviously be there. They have the depth to be patient with this, right? I mean,
right.
She's, like I said, they're very deep. They're not very deep right now. I can tell you that. They only have 7. Leah Tu's got Leah Tu's got 2 personals. Kate Koval's got 2 personals. It's just something they got to be mindful of, right? And look, the nice thing is that Cass is versatile, right? She's listed as a guard. She can play. I think Niele Ivey said after the game she can play 1 through 4, right? So she can give them a lot inside. And then I think Hannah and Olivia are, more than capable. Olivia hit another 3 here, so she's up to 14 points. Listen, I told some people before the game against USC, I thought they were asking me, they were going to the game, and they asked me, how would you describe Hannah Hidalgo? And I said she's a demon out there, and I mean that in the most complimentary way possible. And she absolutely is. She is like, I thought she was by far the best player on the court. By far. It wasn't even close. And look, I think everyone can see how talented Juju Watkins is. Hannah was completely in control. She was not only completely in control, she was completely just, she oozes that, she has that aura of confidence that is like not fake. You can't fake it. You either have it or you don't. And she is just electric out there. And her and Olivia, they did everything together. There was nothing they did that was not together. They came out like an hour and a half before the game, like players do, taking their little warm-ups, right? So everyone has the warm-up and then the warm-up, right? They came out together. It was just the two of them with another coach, and they just took the same jumpers, worked their way around the court. They came out as a team. They did, there's 2 lines where they do the warm-ups and their calisthenics and their plyometrics and getting their muscles activated. They're together the whole time. They're never apart. It's just like those two.
It's so cool to see.
It's amazing. It's special. If you have an opportunity, anyone out there, you have the opportunity to see Notre Dame women's basketball this year, either in person or on television, you have to watch, because you just, how often do you get 2 guards like this on the same team at the same time? And they truly like play off of each other. They love playing together. You can tell. It's just a special time. Notre Dame up 29-20.
Here's where I think these 2 guards that we're talking about right now need to just calm down. It's, first of all, I would just like to say that this game is getting a little chippy.
Okay.
I think that play before needed to be reviewed, because Kate just took a forehead to the mouth, which definitely seemed intentional in my opinion. And I think that was too quick of a shot by Hannah. So I think that they need to pull it out and run a set, maybe get Sonia a touch. That's a good one. Okay. They got Leah to a touch in the paint, and now she's going to the free throw line. So TCU's being very aggressive and very physical. And that's where I think that we can't play into that. And they can't get sped up. So that was a really good decision. I thought Hannah took a quick 3. Someone, I don't know who it was, someone pulled it out and got them a paint touch and put them at the free throw line. That's what they need to recognize. When these teams want to try to speed them up and be very physical, getting to the free throw line is exactly how you put an end to that. I'm kind of getting a little...
You're getting a little what?
I'm getting a little fired up.
Because of the fouling situation?
It's just getting a little too chippy for my liking.
Yeah.
Feels like there's some extra oomph there,
What would you do about that if you were in the game? If you were out there, what would you do?
I would get the ball and pull it out and run a set. If I was out there with Olivia, I would tell her, pull it out, run this, or I would just go get it myself and try to get us someone going downhill to try to draw a foul for Sonia probably, or get someone a paint touch where they can go to work and get a high percentage shot in the paint, which they did, except they did it after, kind of a rush shot and a turnover, which is okay. Like, it's still so early, and these are the things that are going to come along. You have 2 really explosive, really high caliber guards that are very ball dominant, and this is where they're going to grow. So this is a great learning experience for them.
Do you so if you're in a game and and you see chippiness, your instinct is to say, all right, I'm going to slow down here and we're going to settle down and we're going to get, I mean, I think it sounds to me like you're equating chippiness. It sounds to me like you're equating chippiness with like just kind of sloppiness in the way that Notre Dame is playing, a little too free.
Yes. They're trying to make it ugly. They're trying to speed you up. If someone's chippy with me, I'm matching the energy and I'm going to be chippy back. That's just how by no means does this mean that like this is dirty playing at all. This is
no.
This is really like high level women's basketball. You know, it's just grown women playing basketball.
Yeah.
Personally, I like a chippy game. It's intense. You want to fight. You want to do this. I'm going to do it back. But I'm going to be smart about it, and I'm not going to let it take me out of my game. So, like, for example, like this. Oh, they're showing Jaden's buzzer beater. But yeah, I mean, I think that's probably going to be everyone's game plan is to try to be physical with them, speed them up, and try to take some seconds off the shot clock. Like I said, in the beginning of the game, TCU was pressing full court, try to make us start the offense at 20 seconds, 20 or 18 seconds, instead of using a full shot clock, which obviously is to our advantage. So that was a good scouting move by TCU. I expected that.
So while Maddie and Liza Carlin are out, Coach Vic makes a good point, and you made the point just a second ago. Notre Dame doesn't have the depth to get extra physical; they'll get into foul trouble. You made the point, like every team is going to try to kind of beat up Notre Dame, in the paint because they can get into foul trouble, right? So right now, Kate Koval and Leah Tu King both have 2 personals. If Leah Tu picks up a foul at any point very soon, she's going to have to come out, right? And look, this happened against USC, right? That there were 4 minutes left in the third quarter, and Leah Tu picked up her 4th foul. And I commented to the guy next to me, I'm like, she's going to have to sit for 10 game minutes, right? Like she can't come back until 4 minutes in the fourth quarter, probably. And, you know, at that point, it was 44-40. So, you know, they were able to adjust at that point, but that's no guarantee. And I think teams would rather take their chances with, you know, putting Cass Prosper having to play inside. They'd probably rather do that than Leah Tu King. Not that that's anyone's, you know, great time or anything like that. Cass Prosper is a good basketball player. I'm watching Sonia Citron here. 4 points, 2 of 3 shooting, right? It's not doing anything wrong, right? She's not having, quote unquote, a bad shooting game. I did notice during the USC game, it's a little bit unclear, and maybe even to Sony, when and where her shots are going to come from. And if she's not hot, quote unquote, to start a game, she's going to be deferring quite a bit, right? And we look so far, like Kate has 6 shots. Kate has 7 shots. Leah Tu has 6. Hannah has 9. Olivia has 4. And Sony has 3, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I don't like that.
Okay.
I don't like that just because it's okay now.
Yeah.
I knew they were going to call that a travel. I just knew he was going to do that. Oh. I don't like it because, like, it's not okay right now. We're only up by 7, right? And we're playing a good team. And soon we have Texas, UConn. We have really good opponents coming up where we need Sonia to have high numbers. Like, I think it's okay now, like the scoring and all the balance and stuff. But, like, I'd like to see her get going early, downhill, get a layup. And I also think that right now she can look to be more aggressive, especially on these transition takes. Like, use her body and her length a little bit more. And that's not good. We just left the ball. I don't like this. I think that might be a timeout. There we go.
Yeah. Took a timeout. Notre Dame is our TCU is on a 7-0 run in the last 140 right now. So they're taking a timeout. Notre Dame up 5, 32-27 late second quarter. It looks like Sedona Prince, their center, is 10 points, 4 of 9, 6 rebounds, 5 blocks so far for her. So she's having a nice ball game. And it looks like Kate is struggling a bit, certainly inside. She's 0 for 7 shooting. So Notre Dame calls timeout there. But continue. What were you saying about, we were talking about Sony kind of getting the flow and trying to find her offense and where that's going to come from.
Yeah, I just think she's too important to just get like lost in the scoring chart. And I do think that there was a couple times against USC. Again, we're playing so fast that we need to be able to recognize and make the right basketball play. Like, I think that they missed her a couple times on the 3-point line. I know that she wasn't making them, but I still think that Sonia Citron and the ball needs to go to her and she needs to get that 3 up. My account looks like someone logged into my account.
It wasn't me, I'll tell you that. Looks like TCU's got 16 in this second quarter. They're not shooting the ball great, right? They're up to 40%. So in the first quarter, 27%, up to 40% in the second quarter. That's good. So that's much better while Dara gets all that figured out.
While I get my life figured out over here, guys.
Get my life figured out. So that's the deal. Let me see the rebounds. 9-7, 4 offensive rebounds for TCU. So they're getting second chance points on that end, which leads to, so looks like there's a foul on TCU that just got called. They're back from timeout. Let's see. Sedona does not look comfortable in the paint. I mean, she's playing comfortable enough. She's shooting 4 of 9, 2 of 2 free throws. Sony just missed another shot. She's 2 of 4, step back miss.
Okay,
32. Okay, Sedona hit another shot. So we're up to a 9-0 run for TCU right now.
There it is. Nice, Sonia. All right, that's okay. She just shot a nice little fadeaway in the paint, used her height, I think, over Van Lith. Maybe that was a nice shot. See, that's the stuff that I like to see more of from her. I don't care who's scoring, how many people are scoring. I like to see her just keep being aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gosh, I don't like this.
This happened in the
It did.
This happened in the USC game, right? There was actually, it was in the second quarter when they just kind of went through a drought. And I said, look, it's a basketball game, right? Like, runs happen. Teams are going to go on runs, and it's going to be kind of an ebb and flow. That's the way basketball is. And it's not something that anyone needs to get super alarmed by. And like in that game, they responded, right? I think USC, in fact, cut it to 3 at that point. Notre Dame extended to a 7-point lead at halftime, kind of retook control of the game. And so let's see if they can do that here. TCU's on a 9-0 run. So Coach Vic is pointing out that 2 free throw line jumpers should score now in the paint in theory. I think he's talking about TCU on that front. Sony just got a steal.
Yeah, so. Coach Vic, we agree on that. I think that she has such good length that she can just get in the paint and raise up over somebody pretty easily. So that's one thing that I like to see her do a little bit more.
So it says
I got 47 seconds left on my end.
Okay. Tell me what that Olivia Miles shot is.
That was a pullback, crossover, step back 3.
It was a 3. Okay. So it came in as a 3, but it called it it said step back jumper. So listen, she did that against USC as well. And so Notre Dame's going to go into halftime up 6. So look, this is what happened. Again, it happened against USC. The lead got cut. They hit a 3 again. They're going to go up 6. In control-ish of this game, right? Look, you got a 6-point lead against the number 16 team in the country, or the number 17 team in the country. And so, you'll take that, right? You're only shooting 36% on the game. They're shooting 34%. No one is really shooting the ball very well. I'm a little bit concerned about the turnovers, just generally speaking, Dara. I don't love the turnovers. Again, against better teams, I think this has the ability to catch up with them a little bit. And while Maddie and Liza aren't there, there is the situation where you kind of throw away possessions and you get a little loose with the ball. Maybe they get some easy possessions, and maybe you get some foul trouble in there. No, none of the speaking of this particular game, Koval and King, neither of them picked up a third foul, which is important. But I am a little bit concerned about the turnover situation. I do have to admit that.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're playing into TCU's hands a little bit right now. I think that transition is our advantage and it is our bread and butter, but you have to know like when it's the right time to go and when it's the right time to pull it out.
Yeah.
And I think that I know Olivia did this a couple times, like earlier in the year, where she sees something and the flashy, like really fast pass down low, like she needs to know like when it's the right time for that. And the one that she threw one to Leah to, like before, like a million miles an hour at her. And I think that Leah too may have seemed to be wide open, but like they're collapsing and they're playing really physical in the post. So I think that they just need a little bit better recognition on when to slow down and run a set.
Yeah.
And be a little bit more physical back on the offensive side. Like stop letting them bump you off the path. If you're going to take it and you're going to drive it against them being aggressive, you need to create some more contact. I think those are the two things that they can do to handle those turnovers. Because right now the refs aren't giving them everything going up at the rim. They're not giving it to them tonight.
Yeah. Let me see here. I mean, Notre Dame is kind of essentially playing with 6. And Marish has 2 minutes in this game.
Yeah.
So, that's just kind of how it is. I mean, there is sort of I think that Olivia and Hannah are so, to kind of play devil's advocate against my own concern. Like, I think it's good for them at this point to kind of push the limits a bit, right? And kind of see how far they can push things, how far they can push the pace, how they can get comfortable. Like, I think Olivia, there were so many times where she was penetrating and kind of getting into a spot where it was just, there's a lot of traffic in there and she would lose the ball, or she would kind of try to make a pass and it wasn't really there. I think Kate had a bunch of opportunities inside where it's like, like she could see what she was trying to do. She just couldn't really get it yet. And so you could make the case that like, it's okay to get this stuff out of there now.
Yeah. Agreed.
While like they're both trying to get back, right? Like Olivia's trying to get back into the swing of things. Kate's never played at this level before. Certainly not this many minutes at this level before. So they got to get used to that,
Agreed. Yeah. Hopefully Nia will make some halftime adjustments. I'm sure she will. And they'll be able to get settled in a little bit more, because the third quarter is really important. So
what are these types of games like? As far as when I say these types of games, I mean, you fly out to the Cayman Islands for
they're fun. They're so fun.
Thanksgiving.
They're so fun. I know last year, my last year when I was there, we went to Bimini, and it was just.
Where's that?
That is a little tiny island in the Bahamas.
Okay.
The most beautiful place I've ever been to in my life. Everyone wakes up in a good mood. You have early practice, and then you have the rest of the day to do whatever. The fruit tastes great. And I know like it's a blizzard in South Bend right now. So I know that they're so happy to be there. You can just tell. When I was FaceTiming with my sister, and I talked to a couple of my old teammates that are still on the team now. They were just all in such great moods, and like playing in that atmosphere is amazing. I always love Thanksgiving tournaments. They were great, except one time we went to Daytona Beach and it was terrible.
Terrible. Coach Humph is asking when your next game is. I believe it's tomorrow.
It is. It's at 7 p.m. over here and 1 p.m. Eastern time. And when I get the link, I will send it to Greg and he'll post it on what could you post it on for our fans?
Well, I could post it on Twitter just as well as you could post it on Twitter as well.
You know what? Yeah. What if we? Yeah, Coach Humph. I got you.
Post it on Twitter.
Yeah.
No, we want to follow your career.
Go to my Twitter. So speaking of tomorrow, I am going to put my recovery boots on. So if you guys hear some weird noises, just know that this is what I'm doing.
What does the team do as far as like Thanksgiving type of, I'll say, festivities while you're traveling?
They usually have a dinner. Like they'll try to like make them like a turkey dinner. Like it's bless their heart. It usually doesn't taste great. But it's just the gathering like with, I mean, that's a family. That's our family. The team, everybody. And then they'll usually do like a cute little something, like maybe say something that you're thankful for. Niel is really big. Like our first team principle is love. There's six team principles, and they're printed in the locker room. And the first one is love. So I don't doubt that she had something special, whether it was a dinner or like a little activity. To do, because it's hard. I mean, it's like Christmas too. That's what you sacrifice when you want to, pursue this in college or as a pro. So yeah.
Did you kind of like you're obviously right? Like the schedule that's coming up. Does like your family before you leave, like do you do like makeshift Thanksgiving? I mean, I guess that's very difficult, right? I don't know if you're in school or anything at this point, but does like your family come down? Like how do you kind of make up for that?
So sorry, I'm getting situated over here. Mine 1 year at Notre Dame was actually really nice. Everyone traveled to South Bend because there was a football game and we had a game on the same weekend. And my family came out and we cooked Thanksgiving at my sister's house, which was really cool. And then I also know that some other student athletes like around the country, like I know that if someone's mom was like a really good cook, like they would come and cook for the team or even like do it at a coach's house or something. I've definitely seen that before too, which is really cool. And then also over here, because, that's harder. Like when you're overseas, I've seen a lot of Friendsgivings. Like I saw a lot of teams do that where like each player cooks something, which was really cool.
Like a potluck.
Yeah. So that was cool to see. A lot of different ways to celebrate Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's funny. One of my teammates came up to me yesterday and they were like, should I like say happy Thanksgiving to you? And I was like, yeah, actually, you should.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you too.
Yes, Dara. What did you have a Friendsgiving? What was your day like yesterday?
I didn't.
No.
Yeah, I had a 7 p.m. practice, so, but I did, try to do things like that reminded me of stuff that I was thankful for. So I made myself a good dinner. It wasn't turkey, but it was like this sausage, egg, avocado, like bowl, like all in one. It doesn't sound good, but I was so tired after practice. I just did not want to be bothered. But surprisingly, like I'm not sad about Thanksgiving because I get to see my family tomorrow.
Let's go.
At my game in Budapest.
Who are they all flying out?
No, well, my sister, my brother, and my mom. And then I just like FaceTime with my dad today for a while.
Yeah.
So that is absolutely amazing. But I like have to admit it has crept in my mind a couple times. Like I think Christmas Day is going to be a struggle for me. Struggle.
You're a big Christmas person.
Big Christmas person. Like it's my like oh my god. Like I'm turning 25 this year and I'll still wake up at 7 o'clock to open presents. Like
yeah, that's a big Christmas
we'll
person.
see. So I do have a game.
Yeah.
I
First of all, I would like to say sausage, egg, and avocado sounds amazing. Now,
amazing.
Not traditional,
No.
not traditional Thanksgiving, but that combination of flavors will do you right. Looks like they're about to get started here in the third quarter. Again, Notre Dame up 6. That's good. I'm glad to get your family gets to be out there and see you get buckets. Yeah. Who you got? Who's your team have tomorrow? Tough opponent.
Yeah, we have a good opponent tomorrow. I'm actually playing against someone that I played with at Virginia Tech, which is pretty cool. It's so like weird to see how many of the Americans that like you actually know over here. It's crazy. Like it's such a small world, just like it is in the States. And we play away. It's like Budapest is only like 40 minutes away. So, but we have to go like into the city. So it's only like an hour, which is nice because there's like a ton of teams from Budapest. And I know some of my friends over here have to bus sometimes for like hours. But like in the Hungarian league, it's actually pretty nice because a lot of the teams and the away games are in Budapest, which isn't far. So yeah, we play them tomorrow. They have their point guard is an American also, and their post player, and they have some tough Hungarian women on the team too. So we had a good scout. I really like my coach over here. He's really cool. My teammates are cool, but we need a win. So see what tricks I have up my sleeve tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen. You put on your IG. What's your IG handle there for all the people out there who want to catch your IG stuff?
My Instagram is just my full name, guys. It's just Dara Mabry.
Dara Mabry. There was a post circulating of you getting buckets. Was it similar to the Olivia Miles step back 3 that she just hit a second ago?
Maybe I'll try one of those tomorrow. I just want to be just like Olivia. Like I just want to be just like Olivia Miles. I want to do everything that she does.
She definitely has. Like I think the I really don't like doing the thing where I compare her or anyone else to a male player. It unfortunately it is my frame of reference.
That's
so
not
I'll just
game.
Well, it's what's that?
Game respects game.
Game respects game. She's very much like Magic Johnson to me. Like he was I remember him as a younger boy. But he didn't have anything like he didn't have a pretty shot. His jumper was not that of like Sonia Citron or Emma Risch or something like that. Like it did not look that way. But obviously, when he needed to, he got the job done. And I think Olivia is very similar. Like when she shoots, it doesn't look that good, especially her in-game shot, right? Like I think in warm-ups it looks a lot better, but her in-game shot is just kind of like I'm going for it. And what's that?
She fades.
Yeah, but like she's getting the job done, and I think that her confidence in her shot right now is, I think, something that I don't remember her being as confident shooting. Like the step back threes that she was taking against USC, hitting these big shots. Like I don't remember that being her kind of in her bag as a freshman.
Yeah.
And so that was really interesting to see just on my end, just like, man, she's really looking for that. And she kind of wants to have that responsibility of, kind of those daggers, right?
She
is
loves
that
the big moment.
She loves the big moment. She said, she's told us, she told us she gets very nervous before games, right? Like she said that is a thing, but it's like she gets nervous, but she also loves the moment, and she's kind of
She gets nervous and then shoots a between the legs behind the back step back.
Well, it's like she said, right? Like I think you can't control your nerves as the Notre Dame, they get back underway here. TCU opened the second half with a bucket and a couple misses. One from Sonia Citron and then another one from TCU missed a three. So hopefully Notre Dame can take control of this third quarter here. Dara, what do you say? One more quarter and then we'll call it. I know it's getting late for you.
Yeah, guys. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to log off at the end of the third because my eyes are getting kind of heavy.
Quiet, Dara.
I like it. Even though she missed it, we had Sonia coming downhill for something to start the half.
Yeah. Something that you're going to notice here in a second as you're watching is a couple free throw misses from Olivia that are coming up. Not to spoil it. She does get fouled and she's going to miss both of these free throws. I'm spoiling this for you because it was something that kind of cropped up in the USC game where the free throw game was kind of, they had missed a bunch of free throws at that point. Monitoring, something that you're going to keep an eye on.
You can't do that. I'm going to monitor a lot of other stuff too. All right. Now is where we need to calm down, okay? So we just missed 2 free throws. They scored a bucket off of very obviously missed call. And then we drove to the basket straight into the trees and got it blocked. So now we need to calm down. Here we go. Another growing moment. Oh, they actually called a foul. All right, I take that back.
The free throws, Dara.
Yeah, you just have to lock in and concentrate. Like, free throws are a mental thing. I'm sure, I know my sister, as her position coach, is going to have her shooting a lot of them in the gym this week because you got to be money at the free throw line, especially as a guard. So she needs to get it up more. And that was obvious. Both of them were short, so I'm sure my sister's going to tell her, get it up. I bet you she'll make her next 2.
What is Mikey in charge of during the game? I guess, what is her focus during the game?
If it's her scout, it's everything. So, like, on what they call, like, say they have a play name 3 where, like, there's a back screen. As soon as she sees the guard hold up 3, she'll be yelling, like, back screen, back screen. And then she'll tell, like, each player, like, what's coming and what to do. Like, okay, if they're going to chase around, like, if they're going to go set the stagger, my sister will yell, like, chase, chase, chase. That kind of thing. Mm-hmm. There we go, Sonia. Come on. Yes! Yes! Oh. My teammates are definitely sleeping. Sonia hit a 3, guys. Sorry.
Sonia did hit a 3.
So, excuse me.
Sonia hits a 3. So Notre Dame back up by 7 there. Leah 2 picks up her 3rd. So look, monitoring, right? She's got to be careful at this point. She's got to be real careful unless they take her out of the game. It doesn't look like they did, right? Van Lith is going to make both of these free throws, so it doesn't look like they took her out of the game. And so they're going to let her play on, but she's got to be careful, right? And so sometimes it's almost like you would rather, the balance between putting in Cass, who has no fouls, maybe she can come in and she can play freely, right? And keep Leah 2 in the game. you keep Leah 2 in the game. She's got to be careful. Notre Dame's already in the bonus. They're in the bonus for the first time this game with 7:38 in the third quarter. That is not something that you want to get involved with as a as a defense. You don't want them in the bonus with over three quarters of the quarter to go. So that's something that they're going to have to be careful about as well. So TCU has foul trouble as a team. They've also got 3 personal fouls on Van Lith. She's got to be careful. So the foul situation, something to monitor for Notre Dame.
I would imagine that they try to post Sonia up soon on her. We just missed another free throw. Yikes.
Yeah, Leah 2 and Olivia were problematic against USC. Just to kind of bring it back to that. One more thing. What was I saying? What were we talking about? Oh, your sister and the scout. So yeah, against USC, she was very demonstrative. So that changed.
Good vocab.
She was. I mean, she was up. Not as much as Niel. Niel is constantly up and constantly kind of directing and kind of doing that thing. But Michaela was, she was up a lot, right? And she was kind of on knees and directing things. Will that change from on a game to game basis? Like, is that well, in another game, that'll be another coach because it's their scout. Is that how it works?
Go. Yep. So like, it might be CO scout. It might be Sherelle scout. You can usually tell like whose scout it is.
CO is Carol Owens.
Carol. Yeah. Or Carlos's scout. You can usually tell whose scout it is by who's standing up and yelling a lot. Or how the refs are calling the game, for that matter.
Yeah. It seems to me.
Nice. Sonia just won a 50-50 ball, and Hannah threw a no-look pass to Olivia. So they're smiling a lot now. We're up 8.
Yeah. I'll wait a second for you to. Oh, my.
Oh, don't.
Oh, my.
Okay. There we go. Yes. I think that's what you were talking about, right?
Yeah. I'm talking about one other thing as well. I'll let me get this lined up here real quick. As you see this, so the score.
Yes.
Yes. Let's see that had been cut. That Notre Dame won a quick 8-0 run here real quick. Let's see. It was Olivia Miles driving layup good. Hannah Hidalgo driving layup good. Sonia Citron 3-pointer good. So that was 48-35. TCU does come back and hit a 3. So it's Notre Dame's up 10 in the middle of the third quarter. They called timeout. It's actually a very smart timeout from TCU as they were able to cut into that a little bit. They went down 13, cut it to 10, called the timeout. It looks like an immediate timeout as well.
Yeah.
But Notre Dame, they went on a quick run there and threatened to really take control of this game. Sonia Citron up to 4 of 8 shooting, 2 of 3 from 3, 10 points. She's the second leading scorer suddenly for Notre Dame. That's what you want to see from Sonia Citron. That is how she that's how she can affect the team, right? And I think she has hit a couple threes in this quarter, which is huge for her. Again, if they can get her going to where she knows where her points are going to come from and where she's comfortable kind of shooting the ball, she starts to feel good in her legs and that sort of thing. Remember, she's coming back from an injury as well. So she had like kind of the injury to start the year, missed some practice time. So she's got to get used to things. It looks like that 3-pointer was changed to a 2-pointer, by the way.
Yeah.
It's now 48-37. Notre Dame remains in the bonus. So who the coach is. So what is, I guess, a question is, let's say Michaela is not on the scout, right? What is she then responsible for on during the game week, things of that nature. I mean, obviously, if she's not on a scout for one game, she's on a scout for another game. She's scouting some other team. Yeah. But on the day, what does the assistant coach do then?
I would say throughout the week, it's important. Like, she'll watch film, obviously, even if it's not her scout. But for the week, like, this is where I'm saying, obviously, she'll watch film, is she'll find out, like, where her players. So, like, again, you have position groups. It's just like football. So, like, running back coach, like, tight ends, blah, 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 this and that. And she'll figure out, like, what kind of shots they're going to get against the opponent. So, like, for example, say that they're playing the ball screen flat, then maybe they'll get a pull-up jump shot. So she'll practice the pull-up jump shots. Maybe they'll get pump fake threes, one dribble pull-ups, like off of a team that runs out a lot, like high hand close out, an athletic team. She'll practice that. Maybe the other team has a really, really strong defender who likes to pressure the ball a lot. She'll tell the practice players, okay, come to practice early so we can practice dribbling under pressure, that kind of thing. And defensively too. Like, if they're going to ice the ball screens, they'll practice icing the ball screens with the guards, things that the guards are going to have to do for the next opponent, even if it's their scout or not. Here we go. We got Sonia coming downhill. Step back. I don't care. I like it. Good shot. I just feel
when you say ice the ball screens, what do you mean by that?
Ice means you jump all the way on one hip, and you can only make them go one way. That's a foul. Olivia stole the ball from her, and she full on grabbed her with two hands. I'm not really sure what the ref is looking at today. But yeah, ice is like that. She'll be dribbling, and then you jump on one hip, and she can only use the ball screen in that direction. Or if, like, we're gonna trap, then we'll practice doing that. So as much as, like, even if it isn't your scout, what you do with your position group that week is still really, really important.
So you're talking about position group like forwards, guards?
Yeah, both. So, like, say it's say they'll have like a smaller forward guarding Kate, then they'll practice just like catching the ball and going right up. Or if they're playing against a post player that shoots it over her left shoulder every time, they'll bring a practice player early to practice, and they'll practice guarding him going over his left shoulder every time. I'm trying to think.
So we've talked about this before on the show, but we haven't talked about it recently. Practice players are men who come to practice with the ladies.
Yes, students. And
how do you become a practice player?
You kind of like have to try out. Like,
try out to be a practice player?
Yeah, so like you can come to a couple practices in the beginning, and then like obviously they want to keep like the best ones because they're gonna make us better, and a ton of them try out. So like you can't keep all of them. But our practice players are literally the best. Like, I don't think like what people see is that like they are just as much a part of everything like as every single player on our team is. Like, they're helping us build our team. They're helping us get better. They're going through like the blood, sweat, and tears like with us. And then like it's just so nice to see like when they come to the games and stuff, like they're allowed to sit courtside, and like they're our biggest fans, and they are just so nice and so respectful. Like, our practice players are so nice. I can't say like enough good things about them. They're the best.
So so these are like, that they can various levels of the sport, right? I guess like I'm sure like so, but you got to be like, how good you got to be, like how good you have to be, like in your opinion, like are you a borderline college player? Like, what?
Yeah. So okay, for example, two of our best practice players were walk-ons on the men's team. So Raheem Brayton and Thomas Crow, they're both walk-ons on the men's team. Well, Raheem graduated, but like that's the level that we're playing against. Like, not
Mm.
all of them are of that caliber, but like we look out at Notre Dame, like, and then we have like the bookstore basketball, like the championship team is 3/4 of them, like, are our practice players. Like, they're really good, and like practice is hard. Like, they go hard against us. They don't like take it easy and like not foul us. Like, it's physical, it's hard, it's fast. Like, and the Notre Dame practice players is crazy. Like, cause I've seen like videos of like other practice players, and like I've practiced or like been at practice with like other teams and stuff and whatnot. And our practice players are different. They're really good, and it helps us that much more.
That's interesting. Like, it, why do you think Notre Dame's practice player situation is as good as it is? Like, why?
I don't know. I think also it's that some of our students like come to Notre Dame for the education, and maybe they had to give up a sport because they had to
Gotcha.
choose, the classroom or both, or just the classroom. So I think that has a lot to do with it. Like, a lot of them won like state championships and stuff in high school, or were like dual sport athletes, which is super cool. And then you have people like Thomas and Raheem who were able to, we were sad to say goodbye to them, but when they told us like, hey, we're not coming to practice anymore because we're going to be walk-ons on the men's team, we were like, that's amazing. Like, it's incredible. And I think that that's just a testament to the Notre Dame community itself. Like,
Yeah.
just you find people that are such great people in so many different areas.
It's fun. It's funny you mentioned that being the reason, because my wife went to Notre Dame, and she could have played soccer in California, like just below like the UCLA USC types, right? She could have played soccer
Right.
there, but she got into Notre Dame, and so you go to Notre Dame, right? Like, that's
Exactly.
this kind of what you do, and like, it makes sense, right? Like, it's just
Right.
it's something. Notre Dame up 49-39 with 3:38 left in the third quarter. Cass Prosper just missed one of two free throws. So that's Notre Dame's at 10 of 15 for the game. TCU is at 8 of 10. Someone asked about Haley Van Lith earlier. I think it was Coach Humph. She's at 6 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds in 20 minutes. She's got 3 personal fouls. She's not doing much, especially from the field. She's getting to the line. She's got 4 of 6 free throws. So that's good. Let's see. TCU is up to 13 turnovers. Notre Dame's sitting at 7. Sony just hit a driving layup there. Olivia Miles on her 4th assist. Another turnover for TCU. Olivia Miles driving layup. So Notre Dame up 53-39. Haley Van Lith, speaking of, just made a layup. So it's 53-41 with 2:50 left in the third quarter. Look, Notre Dame has taken control of this game. They used that 8-0 run earlier to kind of build a nice double-digit lead here, 53-41. Kate Koval and Leah King are both sitting at 3 personal fouls. They have. I think maybe one of them has come out of the game because Cass is in the game now. So maybe she's
Leah
in.
came out.
Leah came out. Okay, so so Cass is in there getting her minutes. Let's say that, obviously they're going to try to close this out. I think the 7 turnovers is a good sign for Notre Dame. I think Sony coming alive offensively is a really good sign for them. 5 of 10, 12 points. It'd be nice to see Sony getting to the free throw line just generally, because A, she's a good free throw shooter, and B, that shows a good amount of aggressiveness. As of this moment, Notre Dame's taken a little bit of advantage about as far as Kate just picked up her 4th. So it looks like Leah is going to have to come back in.
Yeah.
You don't like that. So Notre Dame up to 8 turnovers. So that's something to monitor, right? Like, they're going to have to be careful. Kate's going to have to sit for, about, I guess, 8 game minutes here, right? She probably can't come back till about 4 minutes in the fourth quarter. There's going to be some heavy minutes for Cass at this point. Why do you think Emma Risch doesn't get as much run? curious. I mean, obviously, if she's going to come in, she's got to come in for Sony. She's obviously playing well. Is it? Do you think it's that? It's just that if Hannah or Olivia or Sony have to come out if she's going to get in the game.
Yeah, I think it's just rotations. Oh, we need to stop the ball from getting in the paint right now. I think it's just rotations, and I think like she's just on a loaded roster. Like Emma's really good. She's
her shot looks amazing. I wish my I wish my jumper looked as good as that.
yeah. It's so pretty. Like her release is so quick. Her shot is so pretty, and I think that also keep in mind Emma's really not that experienced. She missed a lot of the season. Did she miss? What did she miss?
She missed most of last year.
Yeah.
I mean, she's very much working her way back into it. She had the hip injury. She played early, but then she had the hip injury, and then she had to shut it down.
So keep in mind, like she's still adjusting. She doesn't have as much game experience, and then she's just on a loaded roster. Like look at the other guards like on the roster. I think that's just a combination of what it is. It's a loaded roster, and she's not as experienced. But that doesn't take away anything from her game and maybe some of the opportunity that she'll continue to get this year or even next year. We'll see what happens. But
they're obviously grooming her for the Sony role, right? I mean, I think she's definitely not as versatile as Sony, right? Like Sony is someone you could see, she puts the ball on the ground, right? Like she can play make. She's a pull-up jumper, right? Like she's very versatile in the way that she can score. But Emma, like playing that role, I think it's very easy to see her kind of step into that.
We just missed another free throw.
Yeah. So Notre Dame's sitting at, she's going to make the next one. So that's 11 of 17, 65%. They're at 65% shooting. Again, it's a problem for them. It's a problem. They need to figure it out. Notre Dame 54, TCU 45.
Slow down. No. No. Oh, dear.
Almost, buddy.
Oh, Sonia just made such a beautiful move and didn't finish it. Oh, I know she is so mad at that one.
What?
We've got she got the offensive rebound. Leah to step back miss. Hannah Hidalgo offensive rebound. Olivia Miles floating jump shot good. So that is going to be a 56-45 lead going into the fourth quarter. Hannah Hidalgo with 21, Olivia Miles 12, Sonia Citron 12 on 5 of 11 shooting. Notre Dame shooting 39%, TCU at 38%. The difference at this point is the free throw line and threes. Notre Dame's made 5, TCU 3. Notre Dame's made 11 free throws, and TCU 8. Notre Dame has 20 made shots. Looks like the offensive rebounds is really killing. Notre Dame's got 11 offensive rebounds to 6 for TCU. But we are going to have to end it there. Dara's got to get to bed. She's got to go to sleep. So thank you, everyone. This was fun. I like doing the show. We did have to have a show. We were behind. I went on vacation. My fault on that. We did have to have it. This was a lot of fun. We're gonna have to do it again throughout the season when Dara is
maybe we could do it on like a big Sunday game where it's like
big Sunday game
time.
Yeah.
Eastern time.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna have to do that. So thank you everyone for tuning in. If you like what you heard, hit the like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'll be back tomorrow for the post game show with Notre Dame USC. That's going to be real fun. Dara, post the link in your Twitter so we see your game. We'll talk to you. What are you going to do tomorrow?
Get buckets.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.